All right. Welcome everyone who is joining us. We appreciate you taking time out of your day. Our chaotic acts of theater, and we are doing an original play entitled The Floral Syndicate, written by myself, Kevin Labrum, and Kim Sherman-Labrum, based on an original character created by Ben Hamill. We also want to give a huge shout out to Rediscovered Books, and also everyone who is joining us. We appreciate your flexibility. Originally, this was intended to be a live staged reading, but as you are probably all aware, the present situation in our lovely state and town sort of made us reconsider what we were doing. And we just felt that in order to be safe and healthy for you, our audience, as well as our performers, that it would be a good idea to go virtually. So we appreciate you pivoting with us. We sincerely appreciate you hanging in there and joining us. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. I do want to point out that when we get to intermission, we are going to take about a 10-minute break. That'll give the actors a chance to use the restroom, get something to drink, as well as our audience. So without further ado, we're going to go to blackout, and then we will start. Scene one. Lights up. There is a cramped area, maybe 15 feet by 15 feet. This is the office of Dick Private, private investigator. It is run down, seedy, and very small. There is a desk that is set at an angle so that when sitting behind it, the person can see the entire room. On the desk is a phone, a glass, and a rather large bottle of cheap gin. A chair is set in front of the desk, also at an angle. There is a soot-grimed window in the stage right wall, and the upstage right wall has a door in it, with a marbled window. We see a man, Dick Private, sitting behind the desk, his feet up, drinking. His shirt is worn, shabby, and wrinkled. We should hear music reminiscent of film noir, and then Dick begins with a voiceover.
That day started like most days. The sun came up. It was bright, shiny, made my normal morning hangover grow like a weed in my head. I was just starting to settle into my new office. It was a big step up from the old one. Now what I needed was to get a case before next month's rent was due.
We see a woman's silhouette in the door's window. She knocks on the door.
Mr. Private, are you in there? Are you awake?
Come on in, kid.
Mary enters.
I hate to bother you, but a woman came in just now. She said she needed to meet with you.
Dick looks past her to the obviously empty waiting area.
You sure about that?
What?
Mary looks back and then looks back to Dick.
Oh, she needed to run to the ladies, but she said she was coming right back. Is it all right if I send her in?
Well, what I'd rather is to sit here and polish off this gin, but we got to get some scratch coming in. Send her on in. We'll see what's what.
Oh, good.
Mary turns to go, but then turns back.
And do you remember I have class tonight?
Yeah?
So I need to run. But if you need...
No, you run along then. I'm sure I can handle some random dame.
All right, then. Promise me you'll be careful, Mr. Private.
I appreciate the concern, doll.
Dick drops his feet to the floor and becomes very serious.
But danger, that's a PI's middle name. You know that better than most.
I know. I worry is all.
Get out of here, kid.
She exits, closing the door. He refills his glass and puts his feet back up on the desk.
Mary's a good kid, but she worries too much. Her old man taught me everything there is to know about being a PI. I felt responsible for her. So I brought her in to work for me, part-time. That way I can keep an eye on her.
We see the shadow shape of a woman in the door's window. There is a knock at the door, and Dick looks over.
Mr. Private? Your assistant said you were here. If you can hear me, I need you.
Dick drinks, considers, leans back in his chair, which promptly tips over backwards, dumping him out and making a very loud noise. He scrambles to his feet.
Mr. Private? Was that you? If that was you, and you're okay, please. I think I'm in trouble. In fact, I'm desperate.
A desperate dame. When you've been around as long as I have, you learn a few things. One, don't order the sweet and sour chicken from Wong's. It tastes like gopher. And three, a dame looking for a PI is trouble with an exclamation point after it. If they was on the square, they'd go to the cops. Best thing, send them packing.
Mr. Private?
Emily takes out a handkerchief, dabs at her eyes, and then we can hear her sniffle.
Please? I have nowhere to go. I'm completely alone. I can't go to the police. For all I know, he might have most of them in his pocket. So I asked around to find out what to do. Please, Mr. Private, I need you.
Dick stands, moves to the end of the desk. He has to turn sideways and sidle between the end of the desk and the wall. There is barely a foot there. Once past the desk, he walks to the door and opens it. She takes a step in and stops at him. Emily Gregorio is a cute and sweet young woman. She's in her late 20s, wearing a conservative dress that reaches to her ankles. She steps in and turns and looks at him.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Private. Thank you. You may have saved my life. I don't know how I'll ever be able to thank you.
Let's not put the cat ahead of the horse, huh? I mean, don't get ahead of yourself. Now, I ain't saying I'll help, but at least I'll listen. Why don't you have a seat?
Emily looks at the chair, then back to him. Then she takes his hand, kisses it, and holds it against her chest.
Thank you. That's all I can ask. You have no idea how hard it's been.
Emily moves to the chair and sits. Once her back is turned, Dick's legs almost give out. He catches himself, and after she sits, he crosses to the desk. Like before, he has to sidle between the desk and the wall, then takes his seat.
So, Miss...
Gregorio, Emily, and actually it's Mrs.
Of course, sure. All right, Miss Gregorio.
Mrs.
What?
Mrs. Gregorio, my married name. I was just little Emily Hansen from Cuna until I moved to the big city. And then I met Anthony. That was 3 years ago.
Gotcha. So what do you need me for?
It's terribly hard to explain and a little embarrassing. It's hard to know where to begin.
Mm-hmm. I got me a technique my old partner showed me. It's unusual, but it works. Trust me.
Oh, I do. I know it might sound crazy, but I do with all my heart. So what do I do?
Well, first, you got to take a big, deep breath. In. Oh, that's good. Now, start from the beginning.
Okay, I feel much better. Here goes.
Emily stands and will nervously pace about the room.
I think what I mean is I have reason to believe that my husband is a bad man, maybe even connected to the mob. And I think he's...
Emily leans over the desk to get closer to him and gives him an interesting view, and her voice drops to a whisper.
Killed people.
What? Oh, right. Bad man, huh? Yeah.
I don't know it for sure. What I mean is I've overheard him say things to other people.
Look, doll, I'm going to need more than that. I'm going to need to hear the skinny, something I can hold in my hands.
Sure, of course. Like what?
Everything you can think of. And I need it on the square. You let me decide what's important. So, what does your husband do when he's not, killing people or having them killed.
Don't make fun of me, Mr. Private. Please.
That was unprofessional of me. I'm sorry.
Dick stands, offers her his hanky. She dries her eyes and gets herself under control.
Thank you. I'm not usually. I don't want you to think I'm some wimpy little girl. My husband's name is Anthony Gregorio. He owns 17 flower shops in and around the city. His nickname is Big Tony.
Big Tony, huh? Well, that doesn't sound sketchy at all. And he's a florist? I gotta be honest, that's a new one on me. You don't hear too many flower guys being connected.
Who wouldn't know about that? But since I began to suspect things, I've had a few thoughts. Maybe, just maybe, well, it might be the perfect way to stay hidden.
Huh. Fact is, that'd be a smart game. But you better have more than that.
I'll tell you everything. Go ahead, ask me anything. And I mean anything.
All right, doll. Are your eyes naturally that blue? I've never seen
Excuse me?
what I meant was what have you seen? What
Dick struggles to find the right word, starts to gesture with his hands.
Glasses.
No.
He shakes his head, makes a small gesture with his fingers.
Pinching? Something's pinching you.
He shakes his head, makes another gesture.
You need a massage?
Well, no.
He has an idea and pulls a magnifying glass out of his desk.
Clues?
Yes. Yes. What clues have you seen with your own beautiful blue eyes?
That's very sweet of you.
What we need is some proof. Without it, folks will wonder if maybe you just got tired of being married and now you're looking for a way out.
What? How could you say such a thing? That isn't what this is. Yes, I don't want to be married to him anymore, and I do want out, but it's because I can't be married to a man who could kill people.
Yeah? Because this wouldn't be the first time some dame just walked
Emily
in here.
stands, grabs his hand and begins crying again, kisses his hand and holds it to her chest.
Please, you have to believe me.
With one final push of his hands into her chest, she lets go and sobbing turns away.
Take it easy, okay? Here now.
Dick decides to try and comfort her. He tries to move around his desk quickly. All he does manage to do is ram his privates into the corner of the desk. Emily turns back to him. He motions for her to sit. As she does so, he makes it back to behind the desk, then lowers his head to the desk.
We need something solid that points to your husband as a cold-blooded killer. If you don't got that, I can't help you.
Don't you believe me?
No, I didn't say that.
Dick decides to try again and carefully begins to make his way around the desk.
I believe in you isn't the problem. Being able to show the buttons they need to lock them up, that's the problem.
He has made it to her side.
And if we can't do that, it's nothing but bumping gums.
I knew it. I just knew you were the man for the job.
She stands, grabs him and pulls him in close.
I knew it right away.
She takes his hands, kisses them.
And I'm just so happy. I mean, I'd do anything to thank you.
Uh-huh.
So what do we do now?
It's hard. What I mean is, it'll be difficult. We'll need proof, something I can hold in my hands.
His gestures leave his hands in such a way as to grab her breasts. He notices and drops them.
I'm not sure, but maybe I have it.
All right, sweetheart, I'll bite. What is it?
Give me just a second.
She reaches into the top of her dress, fishes around, and pulls out a sheet of paper.
Here.
Thanks. And this is?
Proof. I mean, I think. You see, a few days ago, I went into his office to talk to him. He wasn't there, but this was laying on the desk. I think he was getting ready to destroy it. It's a to-do list, sort of.
Uh-huh.
Dick takes the list, looks at it, and reads.
Let's see. Number 1. I think we can increase revenue in F if we, with some well-planned cuts. Number 2, kill Ramona Rothstein and the Russian. Number 3, skim milk.
That should do it, right?
Well, depends on what you're using the milk for.
Not that part. The other. It points to him as a dangerous man.
Hold your ponies there. This is pretty thin.
What do you... Thin? It says kill! This Ramona person. That seems pretty clear to me.
See, that's why you need me. A trained professional who can dig into every little clue and get to the meat of it. For example, this isn't even your husband's. Handwritten right at the top here from the desk of the Rose, not Big Tony.
Or what if, I can hardly even say it, what if my husband, Anthony, Big Tony, Gregorio is really the Rose?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Makes sense, right?
Let's say that's true. Huh? Your husband, a florist by day, is the most feared criminal in the entire city. A man no one has ever seen or can identify. A man known only as the Rose.
I know, it sounds crazy, but you have to admit it would be the perfect way to hide.
Sure. I can see how, if you read between the lines, you might come to that. But it smells like the wrong conclusion.
Smells. Wrong conclusion. What?
You see, nothing is what it appears. I question it all, and I remember everything, Aaron.
It's Emily.
Right. But there's a real big question I got to have an answer to.
You can ask me anything. I'm wide open for you.
What I want to know is, what do you get out of this? Let's say I get the goods on your old man and get him out of the picture. Where does that leave you?
I guess, well, I haven't really thought about it. I don't know.
Right. Let's take a peep then, huh? You're just going to take over his business, you and some handsome young guy make off with the sap's money, live happily ever after?
Absolutely not. I would never do that.
Or are you doing this so you can become the big cheese? Head dog, number 1. Is that it, Alan?
No. How could you say such horrible things? I want nothing to do with his business. I'd sell it off or something. And my name's Emily.
I want to believe you, but why should I?
I guess it's probably hard for someone like you who's seen so much bad to believe this, but I want to do the right thing. And I think that putting him behind bars is the right thing to do, not just for me, but for everyone.
You're right. I do find that hard to believe. You just expect me to swallow this whole story like some Irishman swallows whiskeys, straight down without a flinch?
I have to hope. I just need someone to help me, please.
Emily moves quickly to him. She moves in very close and is holding him very close. Moves her body against him, whispers.
Dick,
Huh?
I need you. I need a smart, tough man who's willing to do whatever it takes to make things right. A man who has a decent heart under all that pain, who, despite all the troubles he's had and all he's seen, is still a good man. I need a man like you. I need you, Dick.
Have a seat, sweetheart.
They both take a moment to get composed. She turns away to blow her nose or wipe her eyes. He is having difficulty moving, but he finally makes it.
Mr. Private, will you help me?
Okay, doll. Now, I'm not saying I'll take your case, but I can maybe ask around and get the skinny. Then if I think we got anything to work, that's anything that's worth checking on, I don't know, we can talk.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
She reaches inside her dress again and pulls out more papers from yet another hiding place.
Here is more information about him. A list of his shops, his friends, his business associates, his favorite bubble bath scent.
I don't know what his favorite, but oh, this is good. Lavender chamomile is very relaxing and it moisturizes the skin. And the rest of this is important too. But up front, you need to know if I decide to take your case, I get $50 a day plus expenses.
Of course, of course.
She rummages around again in yet another place in her dress.
I didn't know how much to bring. If I ever need anything, all I have to do is ask and Anthony gives it to me. But I didn't think I could do that this time, so I had to break into my pin room.
She pulls out a huge wad of cash and peels off a few bills.
Here, that's 2 days up front and some for expenses.
That'll get me started. I can find out if you got anything to worry about.
I understand. But I just know that once you look into him, you'll see I'm right. I'm sorry. It's just that I've been scared for so long. I'm in this spot because I married a monster.
Don't beat yourself up too much about it. You wouldn't be the first innocent and incredibly attractive woman to fall for some rat.
Thank you. What should I do now?
Dick stands and comes around the desk. It takes a few seconds.
You should go on home. Act natural. No need firing off warning shots.
Dick is now right next to her.
Try to relax.
Emily stands. By necessity, they are extremely close together.
I feel so much better. Just knowing that you're checking into it, I feel safer.
Uh-huh.
I knew it the second I saw you. You're the man I need. I said to myself, I need Dick.
Uh-huh.
He moves enough so that she can reach her purse. She pulls a piece of paper out and puts it in his hand, then pulls the hand up to her chest.
After you've looked into him, call me. Tell me what you find and if you'll take the case.
You got it, doll. But remember, act normal, all right? Now get out of here, Edith.
Emily.
Sure. Now get on home.
Emily exits. Dick moves to his desk and starts to do the process to get behind the desk. Stops, moves around and sits on the front of the desk, grabs his drink and slugs down a healthy drink. Fade to black, out. End of scene. Lights up. Interlude 1. A round circle of light surrounds an old street lamp. Dick walks into the circle of light.
My gut was telling me to run. Run fast, run far. Two things kept me from doing just that. One, I wasn't wearing the right shoes. And three, there was always the chance that what that sweet and innocent Emily, yeah, was what she was telling me. It was on the level. I'm not sure I could live with myself if I just let it go and found out later she got herself hurt. Or worse. So?
He pulls out a cigarette and puts it in his mouth. Tries to light it with a Zippo. Once, twice, nothing. He throws the lighter away off stage. From off stage, we hear a voice.
Ow! What the hell?
So, seeing as how I'm a man of my word, and I'd promised to look into it, my first stop needed to be, of course, Rico's Lucky 23. Rico's is a real dive. All the dregs of humanity pass through there. It isn't a drum or a dump, but it is an excellent source of information.
He tucks the cigarette back in his mouth and pulls out a book of matches. Eventually, he gets a match lit and holds it in his hand as he continues.
I just had to hope that the owner, a grizzled, tough old bird named Big Reg, would be in. Otherwise, it'd be a trip for biscuits.
The matches burn down and burns his fingers.
Ow, ow, oh, damn it.
A teenager walks on stage, rubbing her head and holding the lighter, crosses to Dick.
Hey, loser! Did you throw this?
Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. What are you doing out of this time of night? It's way past curfew. You got to get yourself home or I'll have to talk to your mom and dad, you little reprobate.
What the? A curfew? What the hell is a reprobate?
Hey, watch the language, kid.
You're a whack job. Bet you're a perv too.
She knees him in the groin and runs off. Dick doubles over.
Oh, son of a...
Dick starts to exit, fade to black, end of scene. Act 1, Scene 2. Lights up on Rico's Lucky 23. This is a fairly nice, quaint neighborhood bar. The bar runs the length of stage left. There are 2 doors out, one up stage left, one down stage left. Behind the bar is Reginald Big Reg Wentworth. There are 2 tables. Sitting at one is a very nervous-looking guy. At the other table are 2 redheads. At Lights Up, the women are talking. The man is looking nervously around the bar. The upstage left door opens, and Dick walks in, crosses to the bar, and sits.
What's the skinny, Big Reg?
The skinny? Good evening, Richard. Will you be dining with us this evening?
No such luck, Reg. I got to get some work done first. No time for chit-chat. I'm checking into some guy for the wife.
Are you now? I must say I'm happy to hear that you have found some gainful employ. It will do you a lot of good to get back out there. What's the case?
You don't want to know, old friend. If this bird's right, this could be the kind of messy you can't wash off. Unless you got access to a radiation shower or a high-intensity dermal wash. That might do the trick, but with those, I mean, you just have the residual.
I get the general picture, Richard.
Damn it, Big Reg, how many times I gotta tell you? Name's Dick.
Yes, well, while I subscribe to the adage that the customer is always right, in this particular case, I'm afraid I just can't. I seem to be incapable of calling you Dick.
Fine, whatever. Just give me my usual, huh?
That I can do. Whiskey straight with...
4, not 3, 4 maraschino cherries. And keep them coming. In the meantime, I hate to cut this chin session short, but I need to know where the rat is.
Excuse me. I and my staff undertake great pains to keep this establishment immaculately clean. There are absolutely no rats.
No, not rats. Rats. Work with me here, Big Reg. Where's everybody's favorite snitch, Willie? I called him. I told him to meet me here.
Ah, yes, of course. How silly of me. You usually call him a weasel. I got confused about the rodent nomenclature. And Walter is right there.
Reginald points to the nervous-looking man.
No wonder I didn't spot him. A place like this, a nervous Nelly like him just blends into the background.
I guess. At any rate, here's your drink.
Reginald hands the drink to him. Dick takes the cherry.
Works every time.
Dick turns to walk away.
Richard, a moment, please. He told me you were asking about a gentleman named Gregorio, as well as the Rose. I don't know about this Gregorio chap, but the Rose, that is a very dangerous individual.
Don't sugarcoat it, Big Reg. You got something for me, too?
I'm afraid it's not anything specific, mind you, but I read the papers. I listen to folks talking. It's just, be careful. Go on, then. Talk to Walter.
Who?
I apologize, my mistake. Speak with Willie first. Then you and I can discuss things afterwards.
Don't worry about me, pal. I can take care of myself.
Yes, of course you can. Dear. I know you can take care of yourself, my friend, but you've gotten yourself beaten up before. Quite badly, in fact. I worry about you.
You're right, G-Reg. And I appreciate that. But I got a job to do, and a girl's counting on me. I got this.
Reginald puts another drink down next to Dick.
For the road, so to speak, I mean.
Dick downs the first drink.
Here's looking up your old address and finding the zip code's been changed.
Dick then takes his second drink, has some of it, and heads to the table where Walter Willie is sitting.
Right, gee. What in the name of the Queen Mother does that even mean?
Dick crosses to where Walter is sitting, pauses, then sits, banging his drink down, startling Walter.
Willie the Snitch.
It gave me a heart attack. My name's Walter. Walter, you get it?
Sure thing, Willie. So what you so hanky for, huh?
You're kidding me, right?
Not even a bit. You'll know when I'm joking with you. I'm a right funny guy.
Uh-huh. Hilarious. Anyway, I have a right to be nervous. You got me digging up info on the worst of the worst in this town. You have no idea.
Yeah. Cry me a river, why don't you, huh? What you got for me, you little vermin?
Vermin? Well, that's rude, especially since I'm doing you a favor, you lunatic.
Listen, Willie.
Oh, for God's sake, my name's... Okay, never mind. Why the hell do I put up with your crazy sons?
You need to calm down, pal. You're going to make yourself sick. Besides, you know perfectly well why you help me out from time to time. There was that little matter of you...
I remember.
Walter glares at Dick for a second, then begins muttering to himself while he searches for what he brought.
You make one little mistake. In general, I'm a good guy. I open doors for little old ladies, even buy magazine subscriptions from those snot-nosed little kids roaming the neighborhood. I mean, guns and ammo. Who reads that? Do I look like a redneck?
Willie! I get it. You're scared. But I just need a little bit of background, some information. If it's good, you know I'll make it worth your time.
One of the red-headed women, who has been sitting at the other table, Ginger, stands and walks toward Dick and Walter. Her dress is exceptionally short, showing a lot of leg. She stops and looks at Walter.
Well, isn't this just my lucky day? Are you looking for some company, handsome?
What? Me?
Oh, honey, calm down. No need to get all worked up. Yet. Oh.
She starts rubbing his shoulders.
You are so tense. You know, I could help you with that.
Go peddle your papers somewhere else, Toots. We're busy here.
Mind your own business for once, Dick.
Wait your turn, baby. There's plenty for everybody. I'll get back to you. You are way too tense. I know just how to put a smile on that face.
She is running her hands all over him.
You and I make a date. I bet a man like you knows all sorts of ways to make a lady feel so good.
Look here, Red. You got some fine getaway sticks. I got to admit that. And in spite of your poor taste in men here.
Hey, I'm sitting right here.
During this, Ginger needs to slip a hand inside Walter's jacket and, unseen by either Dick or Walter, she removes a folded piece of paper.
Hit the bricks, sweetheart. Your boy toy here and me got some serious business to discuss.
No need to be nasty, sugar. You never know when that's going to come to bite you in the ass.
Ginger slips a card into Walter's hand.
When you finish with this important business, give me a call. Bye, sugar.
Ginger exits, swaying her hips for him.
All right. I need the skinny on Big Tony.
Sure. I bet that's right.
Willie!
What? Oh, God, it's you.
Damn it, Willie. Get your mind off the skirt. While you're daydreaming about some dame who will bring you nothing but trouble, I got a client who's as sweet as the day is long, who may be in real trouble. So spill. What do you got on the names I gave you?
Fine. Jesus, if it means I get to stop playing this weird game with you for today, then fine. Let's
Walter
see.
digged out some papers.
Big Tony Gregario. Are you serious about this guy?
Quit stalling.
Okay. Anthony Tony, or Big Tony Gregario, to his associates. This guy owns 16 flower shops in and around the city. He's got a whole fleet of delivery vehicles, so you can send that special someone some flowers no matter where they're at. Got a nice house in the suburbs, belongs to the Elks. What the hell do you want with him?
The less you know, my slippery friend. Let's just say I need to know what kind of palooka I might have to face down.
Huh. Look, Big Tony, I ain't ever heard nothing on him. He's clean, runs his business, no worries.
That's very interesting.
Actually, it isn't, like, at all.
So, what I'm hearing is you got nothing on Gregorio.
In a manner of speaking, there isn't a peep on Big Tony. But if, say, you were looking for info on the Rose, word is that that's your bad man. He's tied to the mafia in New York, the Chicago mob, even the Republican Party.
He sounds like a piece of work. Huh?
That's right. And here's where things get interesting.
Spill it.
The Rose. He stays hidden, right? But the word is he's inside your flower guy's employ, maybe using it as cover.
And that's of use to me how?
See, what if it's like this? The Rose, he's a bad patch of dirt, my friend, but no one's ever seen him. But we know he works for your guy, Big Tony, a florist. You see?
I ain't reading your mail on that.
Walter will begin making hand gestures, pantomime, trying to indicate that Big Tony and the Rose are the same person.
Your guy and the Rose work at the same place, but nobody's ever seen the Rose, ever. But lots of people have seen your guy, who runs the flower shop. Really? Nothing?
Well, that's real interesting if you're working for the Chamber of Commerce, but I need to know about Big Tony Gregorio.
How about this? Big Tony, the guy who owns 16 flower shops, he keeps his nose clean. But the Rose, as in a flower, a rose, you hear me? The Rose, that guy, he's killed maybe 20 or 30 people.
Listen, you stoolie. If I ask you about Big Tony, I want Big Tony. The rest of this stuff, you're wasting my time.
Are you serious?
I'm a very serious guy. And also overly tense, with a touch of anxiety and a slight self-image problem. You're letting me down, Willie. Unless... Wait, are you saying?
Yeah?
Are you telling me that the Rose is some guy pretending to be a woman?
No, that's not it. How the hell did you screw it? I'm going to try and catch up to that redhead over there. I got nothing on Big Tony, Mr. Private.
That don't follow.
Picks up his drink, drinks.
Because my client is sure he's up to his chiseled chin in dirt.
I have no idea what to say.
Dick hands him a few dollars.
Go find me something worth my time, Willie.
Walter stands, starts searching his pockets.
Let's try then. As it happens, I got something
He can't find what he's looking for.
for you to look at. Maybe if you see it written down,
He becomes hectic. He can't find it.
where is the hell?
What now, Willie? More fairy tales for the tourists?
I got copies of some information so I could hand it to you all sneaky like I'm supposed to. Now it's gone.
Well, if it was as useless as what you told me about Big Tony, no big loss.
No, I had it right here. Oh. Damn it. Damn it, that girl. She picked my pocket.
You let some skirt skim you. That's really embarrassing, Willie.
No. Oh, man, this is bad. Really bad.
Walter looks around, starts to gather his stuff, trying to get out.
I need to. I gotta. Watch your back, Dick.
Don't be a sap, Willie. Besides, it's not physically possible to do that. I mean, I think Reg needs to cut you off sooner.
Dick turns and walks to the bar.
May I get you a drink for the road, Richard?
Well, since Willie was a waste of time, you shouldn't even need to ask.
He is cut off by the other redhead, Detective Carrie Murphy, who has been here working undercover. She is crossed from her table and grabs Dick by the shirt front, turns him and slams him against the bar.
Dick Private, as I live and breathe.
Detective Murphy, I didn't recognize you wearing...
He gestures to indicate how she's dressed.
I'd say it's nice to see you, but...
During the following exchange, Walter, who has gathered his stuff, makes a dash for the upstage left door and exits.
What the crap, Dick? What the hell are you doing here?
Oh, did they teach you those nice manners at cop school?
We see Walter try to come back through the door. He makes it partway before he is suddenly jerked back out. We can see what is happening through the window in the door. He is getting worked over pretty good.
Funny. Maybe you can quit your day job. God knows there's less chance of you getting yourself hurt.
That hurts my feelings, Murph. Maybe.
Stop. I don't have time for your usual brand of weirdness. The only reason I didn't kick your ass out the door the minute I saw you was I would have blown my cover. I'm actually conducting a real investigation here, but you poking your nose in places it doesn't belong, stirring up things that you should leave to the professionals.
Is that so, Flatfoot? You mean to say they're paying you now?
Reginald, who has noticed what's happening to Walter, brings Dick a drink.
Pardon me, while I truly hate to interrupt the repartee between the two of you, have either of you noticed...
I'll get to you in a minute, Mr. Belvedere. Meantime, pipe down.
No need to be nasty to the nice drink slinger, Murph.
Whatever. He's part of this, whatever it is you're doing. You've been warned, Private. Stop snooping around Big Tony, and especially stop poking around the Rose. You hear me?
I hear what you're saying, but I got a job to do too, so yeah, I've been checking out Big Tony, but I ain't heard nothing on this the Rose fella.
Has he always been this stupid?
I prefer to think of it as his secret weapon.
Reginald is now trying to get the cop to notice the assault taking place.
Detective, have you noticed?
Look, do your thing, but stay out of my way. And I'm not kidding. I will not hesitate to lock you up.
With that, she pats Dick's face lightly and exits out the downstage left door, the one not showing Walter, who continues to get the crap beaten out of himself.
She's cheerful today. Your drink.
Reginald glances at the door.
Are you quite sure that what Willie, what he told you wasn't worth anything?
Nah, just a lot of nonsense.
I see.
Speaking of the little stoolie, he might be hitting the bottle a little heavy. You best keep your peepers on him.
That shouldn't be too difficult. It is a shame that whatever he told you wasn't worth getting beaten severely for.
Willie is slammed back through the door. Dick doesn't notice. Someone dressed all in black comes in, picks Willie up, and takes him back out the door.
Yeah, I paid for her anyway, but really, that was so he'd dig deeper. Find the dirt I need.
Dick starts to pull out money to pay for his drink.
On the house.
Your aces, Reg.
Dick finishes his drink.
I think it's time to put heels to concrete.
Dick turns and walks to the upstage left door and opens it. Walter falls through the open doorway and onto the floor. He's been beaten unconscious, bruises and blood all over his face. Dick looks down at Walter.
Damn it, you booze hound! Reg, this is what I've been saying. Can you get Willie here inside and sobered up?
Reg comes out from behind the bar and starts to cross to Walter and Dick.
I can take care of him. I do believe Mr. Mancuso here should look into a different hobby. Richard, do you think this has anything to do with you asking him to snoop around?
Nah, he's just drunk as a skunk and passed out as though. See you around, Cookie.
Dick exits. Reginald tries to get Walter up on his feet.
I did try to warn you, old chap.
What, Mommy?
I have to say, you add a whole new meaning to the phrase taking one for the team, Mr. Mancuso. You're a good man.
Reg gets him up. They head to the exit. Lights fade out. Blackout. End of scene. Interlude number 2. Lights up. There's a round circle of light surrounding the old street lamp. Dick walks into the circle of light.
So far, this case has been a bust. Everything I've been able to dig up seems to say my client's husband is cleaner than a nun on Sunday. And not just any Sunday, one of the big ones, you know, Christmas or maybe Easter. But I wasn't ready yet anyway to throw in the towel.
He pulls a flask out of his coat, unscrews the top, and takes a big drink.
Now, normally if I was coming up this empty, I'd have taken the up front, gotten some gin, and told the client we was snake eyes. But for some reason, I wanted to keep after it. For her sake, I mean, you know, to be professional.
Mary enters and slowly walks toward him unseen.
Mr. Private?
Jumped up Christ in the sidecar, Mary. What in the Sam Hill are you doing out here? It's late. It's dark, and these mean streets ain't no place for a young lady like you.
I'm so sorry, but I thought it might be important.
I'm in the middle of something big.
You are?
Well, yeah. It's hard to explain. It's detecting kind of stuff, not something you should concern yourself with.
Of course. I'm sorry I interrupted, but I got that information you asked for.
All right, kid, give me what you got. Then you run on home.
Mary opens her purse, pulls out a piece of paper, and hands it to him.
I was able to find the address for Mr. Gregorio's private office.
Well, slap my ass and call me Patsy.
Mary looks puzzled, and when he doesn't say anything or look up, she makes as if to slap his ass.
Figure of speech, kid. Figure of speech. Damn. This is good, kid. You're a chip off the old man's block. May he rest in peace.
They pause. Dick crosses himself while Mary bows her head. Then they resume.
This will give me a chance to check out the mug's inner works. How in the world did you get this?
I Googled it.
Mary, how could you? A nice girl like yourself. And here I promised your old man I'd look after you.
No, it's nothing like that. I just asked Google, is all.
All right, then. Well, damn. You let this Google cat know we owe him a nod. Now, you get on home.
I will. Good night.
Mary turns as if to exit and then turns back.
Please be careful, Mr. Private.
Ain't in the job description. The Dick just plows forward no matter what.
Mary looks slightly puzzled, then exits.
Well. Looks like I'm going to be able to take a nice long look at your unmentionables after all, Mr. Gregorio. Because Dick Private is on the case.
He turns to exit and runs right into the lamppost. It staggers him, then he continues out. Lights fade out, end of scene. Act 1, Scene 3. At Gregorio Fine Flowers and Arrangements. This is the office of Big Tony Gregorio. There is a door that leads to the outer office and another that leads somewhere else. There's also a medium-sized desk. The walls are decorated with pictures of flowers, mostly roses. On the desk is a large vase with 6 to 8 long-stem roses in it. There are also 2 windows upstage. It lights up. Lenore Bedford, Big Tony's attorney, walks into the room. She glances about, then closes the door and crosses to the other door. She opens it and looks in.
Excuse me, Mr. Gregorio.
Lenore, good timing. Get in here and give me a hand.
Yes, sir.
And close that door behind you.
Lenore enters, closing the door. At the up center right window, we see Dick hanging onto the frame of the window and scooting along the window ledge. He's being very careful to not fall. He lowers his head and looks in the window. Seeing nothing, he continues moving along the ledge and out of sight. The other door opens and Lenore re-enters the room, followed by Big Tony Gregorio.
And you're saying you have no idea who this investigator is? None whatsoever.
Not yet, Mr. G, but I put Manny and Ryan on it. They should have something for us by this evening.
Tony crosses to behind his desk.
And you are 100% sure that he's investigating me?
Well, this isn't my area of expertise. I'm your lawyer, not your...
Listen, considering what I pay you, you're whatever I need you to be. Read me?
Yes, sir. I was basing my assessment on the fact that several of your business contacts, your associates, have confirmed he's gone to them asking questions.
Damn it. All right, give me your best guess. What do you think he's looking for?
That isn't really clear. His questions, well, they don't seem to make any sense, according to what I've been told.
Could it be the truce with All right, you need to start rounding up our people. Get a bunch of flunkies to help. It sounds like maybe some sensitive information might be leaking out.
Big Tony stands, leans forward.
I need to know where the rat lives. You get me?
Of course, we'll get right on it. But I do have that deposition regarding Southside imports in 2 days. I need to make sure that's well in hand.
Oh, well, if the workload around here is too overwhelming.
It's not that.
Maybe you'd like to try hanging out your own shingle. I mean, that's worked out so well for you before.
Big Tony sits.
Look, I know the issues with the imports is crucial, but it won't make a squat bit of difference if this detective, or whatever he is, gets some inside information. Wouldn't you agree?
I understand what you're saying.
And then take care of it yesterday.
Consider it done. I'll keep you posted.
She turns and exits. As Big Tony continues to clean himself up, Dick will come into view again. He is still on the ledge outside the window. He takes a step, almost falls. He pinwheels his arms, regains his balance, and clings desperately to the window. Big Tony punches a button on the phone on his desk and uses it as a speakerphone.
Ginger, did you get Cantrell on the phone yet?
I have him on hold, Mr. Gregorio. Line 3.
Excellent work. How's a little pipsqueak sound?
He's always a little shaky, but he definitely sounds nervous, sir. Just like you wanted.
Beautiful. Oh, thank you. Cantrell.
Mr. Gregorio, sorry I haven't gotten back to you sooner.
Cantrell, spare me. I'm hearing things, disquieting things. Yeah, and what I'm hearing from very reputable sources, mind you, is that certain individuals have been going outside my organization for their needs.
Oh, that's crazy talk, Big Tony. I mean,
You listen to me, you little ghoul. You buy from me and only me. That's our arrangement. Well, I'd hate to think what...
Big Tony pauses, lifts his head up as though he has heard something. He begins to turn toward the window. Dick notices and tries to move along the ledge faster to get out of sight. All he manages to do is fall off the ledge backward. By the time Tony turns to the window, it's empty. Tony turns back away from the window.
Anyway, that's not the main point of my call. There's some creepy private eye snooping around. You know what I'm talking about?
Through the window, we can see Dick stand up. He looks around, clearly standing on the ground. The room is obviously on the ground floor. No, of course not. I had no idea. What I mean is, I hadn't heard anything about.
That's good to hear, my friend. And I'd love to believe you. I really would.
The outer door opens. The redheaded woman we saw earlier sitting at Rico's enters. This is Ginger. She enters. Dick ducks down. She is carrying a box and takes it to Big Tony. Well, what was he asking about?
I do not know. The more important part of this is what should concern you is that my people, and I include yourself in that, keep their mouths shut.
Sir,
Ginger opens the box and shows Tony the contents.
is this acceptable?
Oh, that's perfect, Ginger. To that end, my associate, Ginger, is going to call around to your establishment. She's bringing you a gift. I hope you understand. This is just a taste of what I'm capable of.
Big Tony reaches into the box, touches the contents. You're sending Ginger? Is that really necessary?
I'll decide what's necessary and what ain't. Capiche?
Of course. I'll happily.
You'll take care of that, right?
Of course. Consider it fixed.
She closes the box and exits out.
Oh, I love my work.
Big Tony opens a drawer in the desk, pulls out a very large knife and a large pair of scissors. He then exits out through the inner door. The room is now empty. Dick stands up, visible in the window. He tries the window, rattles it, it swings open. He makes his way into the room and crosses to the desk, searches it quickly, opens a few drawers. He pulls out a hefty file, opens it, and scans a few pages.
I've told you 100 times I have the contract. In fact, I'll get it for you.
Dick looks about the room, panicked. He crosses back to the window, climbs through, and falls out. Big Tony enters from the inner room and crosses to the desk.
Oh, I work with assets.
He picks up the contract from the desk and exits back out. Dick stands up in the window, dirt smeared on his face. He looks, pauses, and then runs away. Lights fade out, end of scene. Interlude 3, the usual street scene, except now it's daytime. Dick enters carrying the file. He walks to his usual spot, looks around, tries to find his pool of light. After a few seconds, he gives up.
It took my highly trained professional skills, but I was finally able to put the finger on Big Tony, or at least to gather enough information about him to stay on the case. To the untrained eye, it would look like there's nothing in here.
He shakes the file to indicate it. Papers fly out. He pauses, will continue talking while picking up the papers.
My instincts say this flower schmuck is dirty, mostly because he looks clean. But I've learned that anybody who's too clean is usually dirty, even if they shower twice a day with soap.
A woman enters the scene. She's pushing a stroller but covered head to toe so that neither the audience nor Dick can see her clearly.
Afternoon, ma'am.
Dick indicates the papers he hasn't picked up yet.
Watch your step here. Some street trash made a mess.
She continues past him. Once past, she turns back and pulls away the hood. It is Ginger. She pulls a baseball bat out of the stroller, removes the baby clothes from it that were being used as camouflage, and approaches Dick from behind.
I was going to need to stay alert, be aware, not let anything get past me. I didn't have anything solid on him, not yet, but my guts were telling me he was as dirty as the floor around a kitty box, and just as smelly. Sometimes you gotta trust your gut.
Ginger reaches in, clocks him in the head with the bat.
Yeah, turtles.
Dick falls unconscious. Ginger kneels, takes the folder from him. She looks through the papers briefly, then she exits, pushing the stroller. Lights fade out, end of scene. Act 1, Scene 4, Dick's office later that day. He is seated at the desk, holding an ice pack to his head. The door opens and Mary enters, crosses to him. She has a fresh ice pack.
How's your head?
Cold, damp, and it feels like at least 3 times its old size.
Mary and Dick exchange bags of ice.
Marty, what I mean was, is it feeling any better?
A little, I guess. It isn't pounding anymore.
That's good. It's progress, but you have to be more careful. Will you promise me you'll take better care of yourself?
You know me, kid. I don't make promises I can't keep. But this is a rough business. It's a rough business by rough men and rough men who do rough things and
Of course, I know that. I used to worry about my dad all the time.
At the mention of her father, they both do the sign of the cross, bow their heads, then lift their heads back up again.
I guess I can't help it.
I appreciate that, kid. I do. You're a good egg. I've been thinking, why don't you take a few days off, huh?
Right now? Why?
You could go, I don't know, maybe visit your grandma in Florida.
I don't have a grandma in Florida.
You don't? I thought everybody had a grandma in Florida.
You can't fool me, Mr. Private. I know you're just trying to get rid of me, especially after what just happened.
Me getting my noggin clocked ain't got nothing to do with you taking some time off. I haven't found enough on Big Tony to keep investigating anyway. I'm going to have to tell Miss Gregorio that I just don't see any reason to keep looking.
Oh, well, in that case, I realize it's important to keep working, but I have to admit that I'm glad this one didn't pan out. You could use some rest.
Mary takes the old ice pack away.
I'll freshen this up for you.
She turns and starts to exit.
Yeah, don't bother. This one will do the job. I swear, the brain pan's feeling loads better.
Really? Because when you got here, you were unsteady, wobbling, and your head was just pounding.
Yes. I'm good. I'll be fine.
Okay, then. I'll just clean up and leave. I promised Father Nevins I'd stop by. He's visiting the homeless shelter, and I promised I'd go with him. I don't want the man upstairs to be cross with me.
Dick squints toward the ceiling.
Morton Coldwater? The insurance adjuster?
No, silly. The Lord?
Oh, right. Then you should get out of here. Word is, he doesn't have much of a sense of humor.
Mary exits. The second the door closes, Dick grimaces, then grabs his head. He rocks a few times, then drops his head to the desk with a thump, which causes more pain, and he soundlessly screams. He takes a new ice pack and applies it to his head and adds a long drink. From the outer office, we hear a door open and close.
Is Mr. Private in?
Dick's head jerks up. He starts to look for where and how to dispose of the ice pack.
He is, but you can't speak with him. I'm afraid he's indisposed.
But it's urgent. I must see him right away.
Dick tries to throw the ice pack in the trash can under the window. Instead, it sails out the open window. There's a pause. We hear a car horn and a crash.
Look, Mrs. Gregorio, for your information, Mr. Private has been hurt quite badly, largely thanks to you and your silly case.
Oh my goodness. I'm really sorry about that, but it just proves that it's more important now than ever that I speak with him.
Dick starts to move around his desk. He gets frustrated with the shimmy process and steps up on the desk, starts to lose his balance, quickly regains it and heads to the door. As he arrives, Emily opens the door abruptly, hitting him in the head. He falls to the ground.
No, I really must insist.
I only need to speak with him for a few minutes.
And I told you Mr. Private is not available. Call back tomorrow and make an appointment.
Well, if you insist.
We hear a scramble for the door. Dick has just managed to regain his feet when Emily gets past Mary and opens the door again, which hits Dick in the head. He falls again.
I'm his client and I need to see him right now.
She slams the door shut in Mary's face and enters the room, looks at the desk.
Dick? Mr. Private?
Right here.
Oh, Mr. Private, I'm so glad to. What are you doing on the floor?
I'm not entirely sure.
Dick manages to get to his feet.
What can I do for you, Emily?
My name's. Your secretary said you'd gotten hurt. Did it have anything to do with my case?
Hard to tell. Fact is, though, I've made a lot of enemies. It could have been any one of them sent the big bruiser after me.
I'm so glad to hear that. It makes me feel a little better, I guess, but I am sorry you got hurt. But I need to know.
Mr. Private, do you want me to show her out?
It's fine, kid. You need
Well, I need to know if you found out anything.
nothing much.
Really? Nothing? That's very odd, because since you began looking into him, he's gotten very tense and very short-tempered.
Probably has nothing to do with you.
Dick starts to move slowly back to the desk.
Maybe he's under a lot of pressure. You know, daffodils don't arrange themselves, you know.
I'm just so frightened.
Emily moves so she is right in front of him, blocking his movement.
He just stares at me
Emily begins slowly caressing Dick's chest.
like a hungry predator staring at prey.
Uh-huh.
It's as if he wants to devour me.
Uh-huh.
It's almost savage. Like an animal, deep and powerful.
She runs a hand down his chest to his stomach.
And I feel powerless.
Yeah.
Oh,
Emily turns away and will start rummaging in her purse.
I almost forgot.
Dick shimmies bent over around the desk to the other side.
I found these the other day. You have to see them.
Yes. Right. Use my eyes.
I saw these as I was straightening up in his office.
She finds what she is looking for.
Of course, you've already figured it out, I'm sure.
She spreads a couple of pieces of paper out.
But if you compare these notes, the writing is exactly the same.
Notes? Writing?
This is from the desk calendar. And the other, well, it speaks for itself. It looks like I can barely even say it. My big Tony, the love of my life, and the gangster known as the Rose. They're the same guy.
Uh-huh.
Dick gathers the pages, studies them.
This is interesting.
And I know what you're thinking.
You do?
Of course. You're thinking, how could I not know? How could his own wife not know? I mean, it's clear as day that they're the same person.
It is an interesting theory.
Mr. Private, you don't have to protect me. I've already seen the proof. I mean, it's right there. You've got him now. With this, you can bring him down and save me.
Whoa. Hold on there, Niblet. Let's not jump on the racehorse without a paddle, huh?
Jump on without what? What?
Of course. You're right. I suspected it right off. I didn't say anything because I didn't want to scare you.
That is so. I hope this won't embarrass you, but I think you may be my knight in shining armor.
She reaches out to him, touches his face.
So handsome and brave.
Just doing. Really? Handsome?
Oh, yes, very.
Emily leans in. It's almost a kiss.
So, what do we do now?
Do now?
Yes, about my case?
Your case.
Yes. Do we confront him? Or do we call the police and have them arrest him?
Now, hold on a minute there, doll. Let's not overreact. Before we start poking in that gopher hole, we got to make sure it's gophers in there and ain't filled with poisonous snakes. If he is who we think he is, and we start making a lot of noise, this guy, if he is who we think he is, well, he'll start coming after us. If he is, with the people we think he has under his employ, like he does. If he is who and he comes after us, it's.
I'm sorry.
No need to be sorry. This here's a complicated mess. Let me make it simple. We don't want this thug to know we're on to him.
Dick starts to cross around the desk, stops, considers, and looks around. Finally, he just crawls over the top of the desk. Then he takes her by the shoulders.
This could be dangerous, kid. Now's not the time to rush into anything. I'd never forgive myself if something happened to you.
That's very sweet of you, but
So, until we know, one way or the other, maybe you should make yourself scarce.
Is that really necessary?
Better safe than sorry.
You know best, of course. I can't see you.
That's too bad. Maybe you're farsighted. What if I step back?
That's not. Never mind. All right. Well, if we don't want him to get suspicious, I should get going.
She turns, gets to the door, and then turns back.
Mr. Private,
Yeah.
Dick has resumed studying the papers.
when this is all over, I'd like to thank you.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, thank you properly.
I'm not sure
Shh. My knight in shining armor.
She exits.
Big Tony is the rose. Oh, well, that's a twist.
Lights fade out to black. End of scene. Act 1, Scene 5. At Rico's. Reginald is behind the bar. Walter is slumped at it. Dick walks in and walks right past Walter.
Reg, always good to see my favorite drink slinger is on the right side of the dirt.
And greetings to you as well, dear. I can't do it. Richard, what may I procure for you this evening? The usual?
Pray not. Ain't the time for normal, big man. See, I'm starting to splash around in the deep end of the pool where the sharks barbecue for their friends. I'm going to need something with a bit more kick.
I see. In that case, perhaps this calls for the Wednesday night special. Shall I?
Yeah.
Brilliant. 2 of my finest strawberry daiquiris coming your way.
You're a right G, Reg. Why don't you save that second one for me, huh? Right now, I'll take a cup of Java. You ain't seen Willie around, have you?
Reginald looks at Dick, glances a couple of feet to the side at Walter, looks back at Dick, then points at Walter.
Perhaps there.
Lurking as usual, huh? That's swell. But then that's why he's the best snitch in the business. He blends in. Now, how about that Joe?
On the house, Richard.
Reginald slides a cup of coffee to Dick along with a single daiquiri.
Here's looking up your old address.
He takes a big drink of the daiquiri.
That'll put hair on your nethers.
I am not entirely sure how to respond to that, so I'm simply going to say, I hope not, but thank you.
I'm reading your mail on that one. I just got waxed myself.
Dick now takes a large gulp of coffee. It's hot and this surprises him, so he quickly spits it back in the mug.
Damn it, that's hot.
Well, yes?
Keep those D's cold for me, Reg. And while you're at it, add a crust of sugar around the rim, margarita style. Give it that little extra kick.
Dick swivels on his seat and is now next to Walter.
Willie, so what kind of peaching you got for me?
Upon hearing Dick's voice, Walter raises his head. We see that he has a black eye, a bruise on the other side of his face, and a cast on one arm. Upon seeing Dick, a terrified look passes across his face.
Whoa. Easy there, Willie.
Oh, hell no. I've had enough of your business, Dick. Every time I try to help you or talk to you, I end up getting the crap kicked out of me.
Oh, come on now. Not every time. Look, don't be such a Nancy. You was the one who chose to be a rat.
Like hell I did. I work in the city records office and you just started cornering me and asking questions. It's not like
Yeah.
become
Tell it to the newsies. Look here. I maybe got a chance to help a real nice dame get out of a tough jam. And you can help.
Unobtrusively, an unknown person, Ginger, walks in and finds a quiet corner to sit in, one with lots of shadows.
Whatever, man. It's not my problem.
Oh, you don't care that a young woman might be in danger?
Read my lips. I don't care. Look, you stay the hell away from me, Private. You see this? All of this? This is what happened to me last time I talked to you. Now call me stupid, but I don't want to find out what happens if I talk to you again.
Ah, come on, stupid. Look. So you got a little beaten up. It happens. Besides, how do you even know it was because of that? Lots of people want to beat you up. Ain't that right, Reg?
I've never actually met anyone who expressed a desire to
You
be.
see? So come on.
Dick takes Walter by the arm and leads him away. Walter looks back at Reg helplessly.
I tell you what, drinks are on me, Willie.
You are a complete whack job.
Whack? Nobody said nothing about killing anybody, Willie. I'm trying to roll sevens here. To do that, I'm going to need you to give me the skinny like I asked. Then you can do whatever you want.
What I want is to not end up in the hospital, Dick.
Listen here, you weasel.
Dick grabs Walter by the shirt front and pulls him close.
I ain't got time for this. A woman's life is in danger. I got no time to waste.
Explain to me why that's my problem and why the rush.
Didn't you hear what I just said? There's a beautiful dame who needs me. I mean, needs help. Plus, I took an Imodium a few minutes ago and it started to take effect.
Oh, man. TMI, dude. TMI.
It's real simple, my slippery friend. Tell me, is Big Tony Gregorio, the florist king of Rockford, in real life the notorious gangster known only as the Rose?
Seriously?
Do I look like a stand-up comedian?
No, but you are funny. Unintentionally, of course.
Quit with the stalling.
Of course he is, you dumbass. The last time I did everything except give you a TED talk about how it was perfectly obvious that they're the same person.
You see? How hard was that?
That wasn't hard at all. Getting you to understand simple English, though, is apparently well nigh impossible.
I don't understand you.
Jesus. I'm out of here.
Walter turns to go and walks past the table of the unknown person. At that moment, the unknown person stands up, throws the hat away, and whips out a machine gun. In doing so, she hits Walter right in the head with the gun. He crumples to the floor.
Thanks. From the Rose.
She begins firing all around the room. The lights go out. We hear gunshots, screams, chairs falling, and a general melee. Blackout. End of scene. End of Act 1. Intermission. All right, and welcome back. Lights go all the way to black. Now they come up. The scene that is lit is both the street scene outside and Rico's. This takes place immediately after the events that ended Act 1. Detective Murphy is in Rico's, staring at Dick impatiently, who walks to his spot.
That ruckus that Regis died made two things clear. One, My nosing around was rattling the right cages in number 3. Mixing a daiquiri and a strong jolt of nasty Java was keeping my nerves and senses razor sharp.
Murphy crosses to him and grabs his arm.
Ah! Cool.
Damn it, Private, quit screwing around and get your ass back here.
She drags him towards the bar area.
I told you twice that I need your statement and I don't have all damn day, especially if you need to waste time talking to yourself or
They cross
whatever.
into the bar, the lights crossfade, lights out on the street scene, lights up on Rico's.
Wentworth?
The place is a mess. Reginald is standing behind the bar, holding an ice pack and a shotgun. Walter is sitting on the floor holding his bandaged head with his eyes closed. Murphy crosses in with Dick in tow.
Put that damn shotgun down and call downtown. I need backup.
Pardon me?
Are you as dense as your pal here? I said, call the station. I need backup. Yesterday. Tell them you're calling on behalf of Detective Carrie Murphy. There's been 10-101 at Rico's. We need 1052.
Ridge takes a landline phone out from under the bar.
That's a 10. What was it again?
Why me? I help people. Forget the police codes. Just tell them shots fired. Give them your address. You do know your address, right? Tell them to send an ambulance. Officer needs assistance.
Murphy turns back to Dick and leads him a little away.
All right, give it to me, Dick.
Hey, we barely know each other.
No, you asshat. In with Mother Teresa, out with Dahmer. All right, let's start from the beginning. For the record, you are Dick, right? Dick Private?
Who wants to know?
The Queen of frickin' England! Now answer the question. Are you or are you not Dick Private, the private investigator that
She pulls out a notebook and reads from it.
was hired by one Emily Gregorio to look into her husband?
You got the wrong guy. I'm a television repairman.
Murphy cups the back of his head.
I don't know how much more I can.
Detective.
What? All right. Look, normally it's no skin off my nose. If you want to look into some guy, whatever, that's your choice, okay? But not this time. Not when you're nosing around Big Tony or the Rose. I've been trying to unravel the whole story for a long time now, and if you mess that up or get in my way.
Hey, if you was doing your job nailing this guy, protecting innocent folks instead of giving hard-working stiffs like me a hard time, we'd be gone already. So why don't you just go
Murphy
off?
grabs his ear and pulls his head down.
Watch your mouth, tough guy, or the next time you see daylight, you'll be drawing Social Security. Get me?
Leave off the ear, Tin Horn. I hear you.
Tim, what? Oh, never mind. Listen, I'm only going to tell you this one final time. You're going to make yourself scarce around Gregorio, right? As in, stay the hell away from him until the cops have done their job.
Yeah, that'll be when I'm drawing Social Security too.
She reaches for his ear again, but he ducks away.
Yeah, sure. I get it, Murph. I get it.
Oh, how I wish that were true. Now, the story I'm getting is that the attack came from a red-headed woman. Is that correct?
Yes, Detective. It was a ginger demon woman. She was the one who started it all.
You two have no idea how lucky you got then. Especially you, Dick. That sounds like the Rose's main enforcer, and she doesn't miss.
What can I say? I live a charmed life.
No, you don't. You've had a lot of people helping you, and you've been damn lucky. But luck runs out. Don't be around when it does. Maybe next time neither your friends or I will be around to keep you safe.
Murphy looks in the direction of Walter, who is trying to regain his feet.
Help your
Snitch.
whatever. Help your snitch up. Maybe slip him a few extra bucks. It looks like he earned it. Keep him out of my way, all right?
As Murphy exits, Dick moves to Walter and helps him up. Walter is still groggy and hasn't really come around yet.
Come on. Rub some dirt on and get back in the game.
Oh, thanks, pal.
Walter regains his feet, finally focuses and sees Dick.
Ah! Get your hands off of me. You psycho. Stop touching me. You just keep away from me.
Willie, what's wrong?
What's wrong? What's wrong? Are you kidding? Look at me.
What? You don't look so bad. I mean, it ain't like you was gonna win the contest before. Just a minute. I have a technical difficulty.
On that point, Mr. Mancuso, he isn't wrong.
Up yours. Both of you. My vision's fuzzy. My nose is bleeding. My head hurts. Hell, my whole body hurts. And I might have gotten shot.
Sorry about that. My microphone went out. All right, where were we?
I might have gotten shot, Dick.
Let's see. Maybe, just put some moisturizer on the cheeks and it wouldn't hurt you to get more sun, but I mean.
On that point again, Mr. Mancuso, he isn't wrong.
Up yours, both of you. My vision's fuzzy, my nose is bleeding, my head hurts, hell, my whole body hurts, and I might have gotten shot.
Yeah, now you're stretching things a bit, and like you said, bright side, you didn't get shot, not even grazed. So, I mean, really, it's...
Shut up. Shut up every time I help you.
Walter, please try to calm down and relax. The worst is past, and...
Who's Walter?
Me, I'm Walter. Walter.
Oh, laying low. I got you, Willie. Or I mean, Walter. Sure thing.
You're a loony.
Oh, quit your whining.
Whining? I'm not... Does what happened lately even register in that thick head of yours? I got the crap kicked out of me. And now this. You see, this. You do realize, right, that bullet could have hit me in the head. The head! I am not whining. What I am doing is pointing out that helping you is bad for my health and my lifespan, Dick.
You're hurting my feelings, Willie. You know I'd never put you in a tough spot, huh?
You mean like that time 6 months ago when I ended up with a broken arm, a concussion, a broken leg, and 2 cracked ribs? And for what?
Hey, not for nothing, but my client was very happy that we helped her out, get her out of a bad marriage. And I paid you good scratch for that, huh?
You paid me $10 for pictures of a guy cheating with his wife, which I got. Yeah. But do you remember what happened later? When the hubby found out, do you remember what the guy did for a living? I mean,
I can't quite recall.
He was a former powerlifter who was training for the MMA. I'm lucky he didn't frickin' kill me, you moron.
Oh, but we got the dirt his wife needed, huh? And now that very nice woman
is divorced, the walking mountain, ran off with his money, and is currently living with a semi-professional poet who lives on an organic farm without electricity.
So, you see, it all worked out and everybody's happy, huh?
Oh, for Christ's sake. Never mind. Never mind, you nut job. I'm out of here.
Walter breaks away and heads for the door, but then turns back.
Lose my number. You hear me? Lose my number, dick.
Walter exits.
Somebody needs a hug, huh? You all right, big guy?
Oh, that remains to be seen. I seem to be unharmed. However, my pub's been shot up, apparently by this thug, the Rose. I am sincerely hoping my insurance will cover this, but other than that, all appears to be well.
That's what I like about you, Reg. You see the donut and the sharpest knife in the drawer.
Yes. You should go home, Richard. Get some rest.
Maybe I will.
Dick pulls out a slip of paper and holds it up.
Just as soon as I check into this.
I hesitate to ask.
Remember when the dame with anger management issues snuck up on me, grabbed me, and had her heater at my head?
My sincere apologies, but no. That must have been at the point where I was seeking cover.
Well, when that happened, I kept my cool, see? She was trying so hard to keep an eye out in case she got jumped, she didn't notice me lift this out of her pocket.
Bravo, Richard. However, impressive as that may be, you did hear what the angry and possibly dangerous detective said, correct? She made it abundantly clear that you were to keep well away from this whole unfortunate mess.
Yeah, I heard her. But I got a job to do, and a client I don't want to let down. I got a little thing called ethics.
That and $5 will get you a bad mocha.
Besides, I ain't one to respond well to threats. Nobody's gonna say this dick is soft.
I genuinely do not know what to say.
Thing is, Reg, I never said I was smart.
No, you have not. In fact, you go about proving it on a regular basis.
Damn right I do. But I was hired to do a job.
And I understand and respect that, I do. You're one of the most dependable, genuine people I know, but I can't help point out.
I hear you. You're a pal, Reg. A true pal.
Dick turns, starts to walk out the door, then turns back.
Whatever else folks may say about me, I don't let people down.
And I know better than to try and talk you out of it. So, what now?
It's time for this dick to get into a tight spot.
Dick exits.
I honestly don't believe he can hear himself.
Lights fade out, blackout, end of scene. Act 2, Interlude 5, the street scene again. Dick walks into the circle of light.
So, now I knew I was sure I was onto something. If the Rose sent that maniac after me, it was to send a message. And an innocent bar got shot up in the process. That kind of behavior can't be allowed. But the question is, what to do about it? The hell am I gonna do?
Mary comes running in.
Mr. Private!
Mary, what in the heck are you doing here?
Oh, it's Mr. Private. I don't even know where to begin. It's just too awful.
Just calm down, kid. Everything will be fine. Just tell me what happened.
All right, I'll try. It's a mess. Everything's just wrecked.
Okay. Look, I know it's scary, but what you need to remember is with any luck, the politicians in office get voted out and then things can just get back to...
No, not that. Not just that. It's your office.
My office? My new office?
Yes, I'm sorry. You see, I was going to lay low, like you said, but I got worried about you. So on my way out of town, I went in to check in on you.
And?
It's been wrecked. It looks like someone tore through the they were looking for something. Papers are all over, drawers are opened, and it's just awful.
Sick bastards. Oh, I'm sorry, kid.
Huh?
My language. All right. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to head over and have a look for myself.
Do you think it's safe to drive over there?
It should be. There's no construction on the roads and it's still daylight out, so the drive over should be uneventful.
I meant at the office.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, you was there already. If anybody dangerous had still been lurking around, you would have run into him, right? And we're going to have a talk about that. In the meantime, I go, check it out. Then I'm putting you on a bus out of town personally.
Dick starts to exit, makes it a few steps.
Mr. Private?
No use trying to talk me out of it, kid. I am.
Oh, no, I know. I get that. But your car is.
She points in the opposite direction of where he was heading.
Come on, kid. I kind of hope one of them thugs shows up. I feel like getting my mitts dirty on some palooka.
They both exit. Lights fade out. Blackout. End of scene. Act 2, Scene 2. Lights up on Dick's office in shadow. Then we see Dick and Mary. They approach the office. We can see them through the glass outer door. On the inside of the glass, there is a piece of paper taped to it. Dick tries the door, jiggles the knob. We can see him make as though to kick the door open. Mary stops him. She reaches out and opens the door, letting it swing open. Dick enters quickly by somersaulting or rolling inside.
Ha! Don't move! Damn. I mean, holy.
We can see that the office has been thoroughly trashed. Mary enters.
Mr. Private? Oh my gosh, it's worse than I remembered.
Stay back. Whoever did this may have left clues behind. It could be anything, anywhere. Fingerprints, bodily fluids, a written confession. We have to make sure that anything left behind doesn't get damaged.
Dick pulls a handkerchief out of his pocket, wipes off the desk, and sits on the edge.
Oh, right. Of course.
First things first.
Dick picks up the telephone. It's broken.
What kind of animals are these people? All right. You need to go down the hall to that insurance guy, borrow his phone, and call the cops and get him here.
You want the police here? But I thought you hate dealing with them.
Most of the time, yeah. This time, though, we can get them to do some of our work for us. Let them squint and crawl around on the floor. Then we use whatever information they get, and we make sure we nail them to the wall.
All right.
Mary starts to pull her cell phone out.
Why do I have to go down to the other office to call?
Well, how in the heck are you supposed to call the cops?
She glances down at the cell, changes her mind, and puts it away.
I won't be gone long, but be careful, okay?
Sure thing, kid. Now get going.
She exits and Dick will begin to look around. He picks up papers, trash, etc. Finally, he seems to spot something to the side of the desk. He goes, picks up what looks like a book. It actually is a hollowed out book and conceals his revolver. He pulls the gun out, then he seems to notice something on the floor. Mary re-enters.
Mr. Private?
Ah!
Dick drops the gun, then he bends down to pick it up, placing it on the desk.
What?
The police are on their way.
Good. We probably got plenty of time. They ain't gonna hurt themselves getting over here. Only things they hurry for is whiskey and donuts. Not at the same time, of course. I mean, the flavors clash. Well, unless you get one of those nice bacon maple bars. I mean, those things are just
Mr. Private?
delicious.
I'm scared. I mean, really scared. What are we going to do?
Sorry, Mary. All right. First thing, I need to change my underwear. You hold down the fort. I'll be right back.
Dick goes to the file cabinet, pulls out a fresh pair of boxers, and exits quickly. Once he is out of the room, Mary glances around, then crosses to the desk, picks up the gun. She very expertly opens the cylinder, checks the chambers. She glances at the door and thinks. then empties the shells into her hand. She places the bullets in her purse and places the gun back on top of the desk like she found it. Dick re-enters the room, closing the door behind him.
All right, here's the new plan. We're gonna.
He stops. Mary is pointing at the door he just came through.
What is it?
How did we miss that? There, on the door.
He looks and sees the piece of paper that's taped there.
Now, what do we have here? This here, kid, is what we in the trade call a clue.
Mary starts to cross to it. When she pulls even with him, he grabs her shoulders.
Wait, it could be booby-trapped.
What does it say? Is it a clue?
Let's see.
Dick carefully removes the piece of paper and reads from the note.
The Martyr Church of Christ Church invites you to...
Wait.
Mary takes the piece of paper and turns it over.
Maybe this side?
Oh, good call. You're going to quit poking your nose into my business. If you want to see Emily alive again, come to my office. If you haven't arrived by midnight tonight, you'll never see her again.
Oh my God, it's horrible.
Got that right. The penmanship this bad. How did he ever get past grade school?
I meant what it says.
Yep, it's all pretty bad. But it's not the worst thing they did.
He walks over next to the desk, picks up the item he noticed earlier, and shows it to her. It's a toy.
This was meant in box, now worthless. Of course, now I can actually play with it.
What do we do?
We aren't going to do anything.
He crosses to her, hands her some money.
What you're going to do is take this lettuce and bug out of town. If you haven't heard from me in a couple of days, well, it means things went sideways. Give a shout to Murphy and let the Flatfoots feet. Let them take it.
Mr. Private, no, you can't do this by yourself.
I appreciate that, kid. I do. But I ain't going alone. I got this Roscoe.
He picks up the gun from the desk, tries to slide it into his side coat pocket. He misses at least twice, then finally gets it, and he picks up the toy.
I got a score to settle. I'm gonna plant the rose.
He exits, leaving the door open, and turns right. Mary rushes out after him, catches him, and herds him off to the left. Lights fade out, end of scene. Act 2, Interlude 6. We're back on the street. The teenager walks on, looks around, sees something, hurriedly gets phone out and trots off stage. Dick enters.
So, they thought they had me behind the 8-ball. But I had one or two surprises up my sleeve. And not just this heater.
He pulls the gun out of his pocket, fumbles it, and drops it. Bends down to pick it up.
It was time to put an end to this thug's run. And God help any of his Brunos that get in my way.
He begins to walk off, stops, notices that his fly is down. He zips up and walks off. Once he's clear, the teenager walks on with their phone. They've obviously been using it to video. They stop and call someone.
No, see, I told you. This guy's out here all the time. I have no idea. He's nuts or something. But he's hilarious, right? This could go viral.
She exits. Lights fade out. End of scene. Act 2, Scene 3, the office of Big Tony. At lights up, the office is empty. The outer door opens and Big Tony walks in, studying some paperwork. He closes the door and begins crossing to his desk. At that moment, Lenore enters from the interior room. She sees him and stops.
Oh, Mr. Gregorio, it's nice to see you, like always, but I wasn't expecting you back so soon.
That makes two of us. I met with the supply and delivery chain people, and it went better than expected. I simply explained that we have to deliver product faster, fresher, and no more excuses. They got the message.
That's good to hear.
Damn right. What are you doing in here?
Oh, yeah, yes. I'm terribly sorry, sir. I should have asked, but since I thought you'd be out, I was putting the final touches on a new project. I wanted to be secure and careful, so I was using your inner office. We don't want our plans to end up in the wrong hands. I'll just get out of your hair.
No, stay. That was good thinking.
Big Tony moves behind the desk, sits, and motions her over.
And I could use that at the moment. Why don't you look at this? I need fresh, smart eyes.
Of course, I'm happy to help.
We have to expand our reach, get into new markets, if you will. I want us to focus on the younger market. Hormonal teens, maybe even snot-nosed little ankle biters, who knows? To do that, we need to be better prepared, and I'd like your opinion.
All right.
Lenore pauses, glances at each door.
What can I do?
Big Tony gestures, and she follows the gesture to cross over behind his desk, pulling a chair up next to him.
Let's start right here.
They study for a few seconds, maybe even making small talk. As they do, we see Dick sneak up to the window. He peers in, sees them. He then checks out the window, looks around, jogs away out of view.
Well, wait a minute.
Exactly. Because if you look here, here, pay particular attention to the areas where delays or even an outright disruption of service could occur. We need to identify those and make plan Bs.
Yes, obviously. The suppliers are the initial link, and a weak one at that. But what can we do about it? You can't really apply any more pressure on them.
That's a damn shame. I'd love to put the screws to them, but the repercussions.
Big Tony flips through to near the end of the report they're looking at.
Maybe all we can do is make sure we can cover our entire territory. Here's a breakdown of the city by neighborhood and area.
As they return to the paperwork, we see Dick come running at the window, obviously meaning to crash through it and take them by surprise. Instead, he trips right before the window, stumbles, hits the wall next to the window, and drops out of sight. It does, however, make a very loud noise. It startles Lenore and Big Tony, who glance back at the window.
What the hell? You heard that, right?
Hell yes.
She gets up, goes to the window, and looks out.
Maybe it was a bird. The stupid things fly into the windows occasionally.
Oh, damn things. I hate birds. Filthy little creatures just shitting all over my cars.
Well, whatever it was, I don't see anything.
She returns to her seat, and they resume working on the paperwork. We see Dick stand, groggy. He looks at the window, dazed, shakes his head, and sneaks away out of view of the window.
Do you see any solutions here?
I'm sorry, sir. I don't. But this isn't my area of expertise. As much as I'd like to offer my insights, unless it's a legal question, I'm not much help.
That's all right.
Big Tony stands and moves away from the desk.
I get it. I pay good money for an exhaustive supply of demographics with a socioeconomic breakdown.
And you got this mess instead.
She gets up and moves away, heading for the interior room.
I'll just finish up in here and be on my way then.
Lenore exits out to the interior room.
It's so hard to get good help these days.
He is interrupted by the outer door banging wide open. Dick enters, wildly waving his revolver around.
Everybody freeze! Nobody move! All alone, huh? Get those hands up, you thug! What? What is it, tough guy?
I don't think I can. You told me not to move.
Oh, a wise guy, huh? Fine. You can move your hands now, but only in an upward motion.
Dick puts
Like
his hands
this.
up to demonstrate.
Come on, put them up.
How's this?
Hey, aces. Now, you kidnapping thug, where is she?
She? Could you be a little more specific?
Oh, don't you get cute with me, you vile, disgusting gutter rat!
Oh, that's mature. Name calling? Really?
Where is she?
Look, I'd be happy to tell you, really, but I'm not very good around guns.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Dick starts to advance, poking forward with the gun.
Where is...
Whoa, wait. I want to help. I do. But first, you have to tell me who you're talking about, and then maybe...
I don't know what kind of game you're running, but fine. You want to chin about this? Let me make it perfectly clear then. Where's your wife, Ellen?
My wife's not... My wife is named... It isn't Ellen.
Where is she?
How should I know?
Oh, break it up already. You know, usually I wouldn't care. You wasting my time. I get paid by the hour, you know. But we got no time to lose. A hard case like you probably got her tied up somewhere. Defenseless. Her clothes soaked with fear and sweat.
Excuse me?
What? All right, you got maybe 5 seconds to tell me where she's...
How am I supposed to know where my wife is? All right, we barely talk, seriously. We go for days without seeing each other. See, you can keep this to yourself, but a marriage isn't a real marriage, you know? It's more of a business arrangement.
All I want to hear from your flapping gums is where she's at.
Dick shakes his gun at him.
Let me refresh your memory. You kidnapped her and left a message for me with instructions on when to meet.
I don't think so, buddy.
That's it. I've had enough of your...
Hey, look. I did not leave you a message. I don't even know who the hell you are.
Whoa. Isn't it bad enough you're a violent criminal who's kidnapped his own wife? But cursing? How low can you get?
Did you happen to walk away from one of them special hospitals?
Where is she?
The interior door opens and Emily, with her hands tied in front of her and gagged, is led out by Ginger, who has a gun to Emily's head. They are followed out by Lenore.
Do you mean this sweet, adorable little thing?
Amelia, are you all right?
Are you kidding? It's Emily, and I'm just great.
Lenore, what the hell's going on?
I'm putting an end to a lot of problems, Gregorio. First, you.
She points at Dick.
Hand over your gun.
He hesitates.
Hand it over. A little Miss Perfect here takes a bullet to the brain.
Lenore takes Ginger's gun and also takes over holding Emily, so Ginger can retrieve Dick's gun.
This ain't over.
Dick extends his gun butt first.
You got my heater. Big deal. You ain't won nothing yet.
That's probably the smartest thing you've ever said. Not that this is a terribly high bar, but you are right. It isn't over yet, but it will be very soon.
I gotta admit, I didn't see this coming.
No big surprise there. I doubt you could figure out tic-tac-toe.
What I didn't figure was that you were behind it all. Worse than that you'd actually turn on your lover there.
He points at Emily.
What the hell, you moron? That's my...
I'll be damned. Really? You figured that out?
Of course. It wasn't that hard.
What?
I have to know. How did you, of all people, figure out that Emily and I were having an affair? This imbecile never knew.
Whoa, wait a minute. What is...
Couple of things. All right. I Noticed a few stray hairs on her shoulders, which I could later recognize as yours. Another time, I saw a picture of you in Emily's purse.
You noticed? I'm shocked to say this, but I'm impressed.
Of course, the kicker was a few nights ago. I was watching Big Tony's house. When he pulled into the driveway, I saw you making tracks out the back door, buttoning up your shirt.
All right, I'll admit it. You got that right.
And now what? You gonna rub out your girlfriend too?
Ginger now has his gun. Lenore lets go of Emily. Emily removes the gag and the rope from around her own wrists. Ginger hands Dick's gun to Emily.
Oh, sweetie, you were actually so close.
I am so confused right now.
It's quite simple, really, sweetie. This rocket scientist here is going to shoot you. The two of you are going to be arguing, probably over the paperwork that identifies you as the criminal mastermind known as the Rose. Paperwork that has taken a long time to create, I might add. But since we
She motions between herself and Lenore.
are really the Rose, all we had to do was change some names and dates. Are we clear so far? Good. Because next, as you're falling, you'll get off one shot, proving that you don't need to be smart to be lucky. The shot will hit him right in the heart, killing him instantly. It'll be a testament to how you keep your head under pressure.
I didn't count on this.
You didn't.
That's what we were depending on. Don't feel too bad. I mean, we've been working on this for a long time.
Emily.
All along, it's been a couple of dames with a lot of ambition who are
She reaches out her hand and Lenore takes it.
a perfect match for each other.
Don't go counting your pennies before they're hatched.
What? Never mind. I almost feel bad for you, you poor sap. You were playing way out of your league.
Emily moves into Lenore. They share a passionate kiss.
I can't believe this. My wife and my right hand woman. It breaks my heart.
The final piece of the plan fell into place when I heard about you. Dick, Private Dick.
You sounded too good to be true.
Then I met you, and it was like our prayers, if we ever prayed, that is, had been answered. I knew you'd never suspect us, and that's why I hired you.
Because you knew I'd piece it all together and be the perfect patsy. Make it easy for you to carry out your gregarious plan.
Or what?
Oh, don't play dumb. You heard me.
Lenore looks at Emily and mouths gregarious.
I have no idea, but you see what I've had to work with?
You see, that answers why you ladies ended up criminals. You lacked a proper education.
Just wow.
Ah, I got it. It's nefarious, not gregarious, you moron.
What is?
Never mind.
So what's your play now?
Now?
Sure. After you bump off Big Tony and pin it on me, I'll be out of the way, and the big guy here ain't gonna say anything with a bullet hole in his brain pan.
Excuse me, I'm standing right here. Could we please not refer to my impending murder in such a calm and cavalier manner?
Sorry about that, Tulip Tosser. So, after you let some air holes into the big guy over there.
Well, thanks. That's so much better.
You're welcome. So what's your next move?
You're kidding, right? You want me to stand here and tell you, step by step, our entire plan?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's kind of expected, huh?
Sorry to disappoint, but this isn't some cheesy detective movie. We don't need to tell you anything.
No, you don't. It does show that you're new to this whole thing, though. I mean, the bad guys, sorry, bad women. Part of that gig is lording over your plan all over us.
That makes absolutely no sense.
Exactly. So why do I want to just blurt it all out?
Really?
Yeah.
Go ahead then.
So, boys, it all started when Lenore and I began having an affair 2 years ago.
You son of a...
We've spent most of that time planning for this day. You see, once everything is sorted out, we resume running the flower shops. Only this time, we actually will be running drugs through them.
Big Tony was never the Rose. He never dealt drugs.
Of course not, you ridiculous little man.
All we needed to do was start a few rumors, help them spread, drop hints here and there, let ideas grow.
We had to be patient, wait for the right moment. Then we needed to find the perfect stooge, someone who would become so smitten by a beautiful woman he'd do, well, anything she suggested.
Oh, yeah? And where are you going to find one of those?
I believe she's referring to you.
Oh, yeah?
Dick grabs a flower vase from a small table and hurls it at the three women. Unfortunately, his throw is so bad that they don't even dodge or flinch.
Really?
Well, this has been fun, but it's time to get going.
Emily points the gun at Dick.
I wish I could say I'm sorry.
She pulls the trigger of Dick's gun. Click. She pulls the trigger again. Click. She checks it. It's empty.
Really? You wander around with an unloaded gun. You really are a stupid dick.
Oh, well, things ain't worked out exactly the way I expected, but in the end, it will. All I had to do was get you talking in stall a bit.
What?
The exterior door bursts open. Detective Carrie Murphy charges into the room.
Everybody freeze! Nobody move unless I tell you to. Now, very slowly, I want guns down on the floor. Then I want to see those hands back up. All right then, now.
They all start to follow the instructions. Ginger starts to lower her gun, suddenly snaps it back up. But before she can fire, Murphy shoots the gun out of her hand. Lenore takes the hint and raises her hands. Suddenly, Mary Golden rushes into the room, spies Emily, and charges at her.
You bitch!
Mary tackles Emily and they fall behind the desk. Mary raises up so we can only see her and punches the hidden Emily multiple times.
Well, damn.
Nice timing, Murph.
Detective Murphy to you, you idiot. Murph is for my friends. You get to call me detective.
She pulls out her handcuffs, also a radio, and talks into it.
Backup two, clear to enter. Copy? You should be damn thankful your friend there called me. Her, I can believe.
Yeah, whatever, Murph.
When you didn't check in as planned.
Private, you have a particular knack for getting into trouble. You know that, right?
It's a gift. Mary, are you okay back there?
You bet, boss. I've wanted to do that since I met her.
Yeah. Very touching. You two get out of here. Backup's on the way and they should be here any second. Best for everybody if you cleared out.
Well, that's just great. Well, what about me? What in the hell should I do?
You just go on and pedal your pedals. Oh, and I suggest next time you do a better job picking a wife.
I am gonna have to write this down on the calendar. If I hadn't heard it myself, I wouldn't have believed it. For the first time ever, you said something pretty smart. Hard as it may be to believe, maybe you should listen to him, Mr. Gregorio.
Dick.
What?
Private, Mary, Are you too deaf? I said get out of here.
Mary and Dick will start to exit.
I don't know how you do this. My hands are shaking.
Because, doll, I'm a dick. Dick Private. Private Dick.
Mary and Dick exit out.
I am very interested in seeing how many years you three get. Because however long you get, you'll spend most of it realizing the reason you got caught was that guy. That's almost cruel and unusual punishment.
The lights fade out, blackout, end of scene. Act 2, Scene 4 at Rico's Lucky 23, about 1 week later. Reginald is behind the bar, Walter is at the end of the bar, and a woman sits with her back to the audience at a table.
Would you like me to refresh your drink, Walter?
Sorry, was muted. Might as well. I got nowhere to be. And nothing says I can't have a few drinks while I'm on administrative leave. Hit me.
I'm sorry to hear about your circumstances. I hope there's no possibility you'll lose your position.
No worries there. I get to keep my job, but I do need to be careful to not miss any more days. All it'll take is, go for a couple of weeks without getting beaten up or shot. So mostly stay away from Dick.
Dick enters.
Big Reg, I was wondering.
He is interrupted by Walter, who sees him.
Ah!
Walter exits.
Poor chap.
It must be hard being so high strung, huh?
Indeed. As I understand it, congratulations are in order, Richard. You managed to bring down one of the largest criminal organizations in the tri-state area.
Not that anyone will know it. The Buttons are taking all the credit for it. I was hoping it would bring in a little more business, but what can you do?
I am sorry to hear that, of course. But the people who populate the streets of our fair city, they know the truth.
And I finally got my scratch for it, too.
Then let me be the first to offer a second round of congratulations. But how did that occur? I was under the impression that since your client was the one arrested, attaining said money was out of the question.
It should have been, but that little firecracker of a secretary, Mary, well, she just kept after Big Tony. She pointed out I saved his business and his life. Finally, the big lug got tired of it, dropped off a check.
She is the little angel on your shoulder.
Could be.
Dick knocks back his drink.
But no rest for the wicked. I need to get back out there, kick over a few rocks, find another case.
The woman gets up and walks past Dick and Reginald. As she does, a flyer drops out of her purse and lands on the floor.
I'm sure something will turn up. It always does, doesn't it?
Job security, my friend. Job security.
Dick glances down, sees the paper that was dropped. He bends down and picks it up, reads.
Well, wouldn't you know it? And just like that, the case falls into my lap.
Dick shakes the paper at Reginald, then slams the paper down on the bar.
It's time to do some good.
He starts to exit and turns back.
It's time for Dick.
Dick exits.
It truly boggles the mind.
Reginald takes the paper and reads aloud.
Have you found Jesus? Oh, dear.
The door opens and Dick returns. He walks to Reginald, retrieves the paper, and exits out. Reginald moves over to the phone, picks it up, and dials.
Hello, Mary. I thought it best if I called. I'm afraid so. He just had it out the door.
The lights fade out. Reginald still on the phone. Blackout. End of play. Woo.
Hey.
All right. Thank you, everyone. And now I'd like to introduce our actors. The voice of Mr. Cantrell was me, Kevin Labrum. Anthony Big Tony Gregorio, played by the wonderful Adrian Leon. Lenore Bedford, played by Sheila Ann. Terry Murphy was played by Cami Nicols. Ginger Heinrich, played by Kayla. Where are you at, Kayla? There you are. Sorry. Our teenager was played by Alea Faddis. Emily Gregorio was played by Aruna League. Mary Golden by Sarah Wright. And Dick Private by Ben Hamill. I want to thank my actors so much for all their hard work and thank everyone who tuned in today. We appreciate it. Look for in the future more readings from Catholic Acts of Theater. We will keep you posted as those arrive, and hopefully at those we will actually be able to be in person so that we can see everyone's bright and smiling faces. That'll be something to work towards. So thank you all for being here so much. Anything else?
I'm good.
All right. Thank you all so much for being here, and we'll see you again very soon.